I know what you're going to say. Mr. Duncan, you are dreadfully late. Where have you been? I apologise. Yes, I am a little bit late today, for which I profusely apologise. I hope you don't mind me being slightly late today. Here we go. Yes, it's live. It's English Addict. It's Sunday, and we are doing this all over again. I hope you are okay today. We are coming to you live from the birthplace of English, which just happens to be, oh my goodness, England. I know, I'm late. I am late today, for which I once again apologise. Hi everybody. This is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you having a relaxing Sunday? I really hope your Sunday is going nice. Mine isn't too bad. A very hectic day. In fact, this month has been a very busy month. For many, many reasons. Some of the reasons I can talk about and some of them I can't talk about. But the ones I can, well, needless to say, I've been busy making my live streams, presenting them all over the place. Did you see my live stream last week? Oh, yes. I was out and about in the middle of nowhere doing a live stream. It is available on my YouTube channel with captions if you want to watch it again. Very nice to see so many people here once more. Yes, it is a very weird time for most of us around the world, especially now because we are approaching Christmas time. Next month, which is just around the corner, December is just hours away. It's true, I'm not joking. December is coming, and for us here in England, it means that winter is also going to officially arrive. I suppose the big question is, will we get any snow? I'm not sure at the moment, but today we will be reliving some of those wonderful snowy moments when the countryside was covered with snow, but at the moment there is no snow. However, who knows? However, 2020 has been one of those strange years, don't you think? So who knows what's going to happen during the month of December. Talking of which, yes, we are in November. We've made it to the end of not only another week, but also the end of the weekend as well. Yes, it's Sunday. Yes, we are back again. It is English Addict. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Mr. Duncan. I talk about English, you see, hence the name of this show, English Addict. It is for all those who love the English language. Maybe you are a native speaker and you just like listening to English. Maybe you are crazy about the English language, like myself. Maybe you are learning English as a second language and you are interested, you are keen to improve your listening skills. Well, you have come to the right place. Not only that, but also you can improve your typing skills as well, because we have the live chat. It wouldn't be a live stream without you. That is the reason why I do this. I know I say it quite often, but that is one of the reasons why I do this, you see, because you are there watching. We have the live chat. Oh, hello. Tomek. Oh, something slightly different this week. Tomek, I think you have a very fast finger this week, because you are first on today's live chat. Ooh. Fancy pants, fancy that. Ooh, what about that? We also have Olga. Hello, Olga. And Vitas. Vitas is here as well. Salah, Elmo. Also Yedar. Hello, Yedar. I haven't seen you here before. As I always say, if it is your first time here on the live chat, please let me know because I would love to hear from you. Beatrice Fong. Hello, Fong. Where are you watching at the moment? We have Grace Chin. A big hello to Grace Chin in Malaysia. Also, we have Mosen and... Oh, hello, Tomaz. Tomaz, I haven't seen you for a while. Hello from the Czech Republic. Actually, I think you were here last week, weren't you? I think so, if my memory serves me correct. Hello, Nadella. Hello, Ruben. We have some new viewers today. I have a feeling there are some people watching today who weren't watching last week or ever before today. We also have Khan Yuin San Jarbek. Hello to you as well. I am very intrigued to find out where you are watching. We have some lovely memories of those snowy winter days coming up today. I thought it would be nice to do something to remind us of those lovely days when the snow was falling and everything was white. Oh, another thing I suppose I should mention coming up, yes, it is on its way. Christmas is officially on its way here in Much Wenlock. I have a feeling we are going to be seeing a lot more of that view over the next 2 or 3 weeks. What do you think? I think so anyway. It is English Addict. Yes, we are all in the Christmas mood, even though this year it is a little bit solemn. Maybe that's a good word to use. Solemn. If something is solemn, it means the mood is gloomy. Maybe people are not as excited as they normally are. So I suppose this year you might say that Christmas is tinged. It has a tinge. It has a slight feeling or imperfection. So this year people are trying their best to get excited about the Christmas season, the season of goodwill, even though most people seem to have run out of their goodwill for this year because it has been quite a crazy year, to be honest. So no celebrations this year, no festival here in Much Wenlock, so a lot of people are feeling a little gloomy because of that. So that's the reason why everything is a little bit solemn at the moment. Solemn. Interesting word. When things feel a little down, a little moody, not as nice as it usually is. So that's what's happening here in Much Wenlock. The lights are on, but we had no celebrations. We had no official switching on of the lights, nothing like that. It was all very solemn and I suppose low-key. Ooh, if you do something low-key, you do something without others noticing. You do something without any fuss. You do it low-key. Low-key. You do it without other people noticing. Mr. Steve will be here soon, by the way. Once again, I'm sorry for being slightly late today, but this month and also next month is a little bit crazy, to say the least. Lots of things going on in my life away from YouTube. Not to mention all of the things that I'm doing here on YouTube. So as you can imagine, things are pretty busy here, as I'm sure they are for you as well. Nice to see so many people here. Jimmy from Hong Kong. I hope things are going well there in Hong Kong for you. Anna is here as well. We also have Christina. Oh, Luis Mendez. Hello, Luis. Hello also to Elvis. Hello, Elvis. I love your name, by the way. Elvis, hello. We are Virginia and Elvis from Uruguay. Hello, Uruguay. Can I say a big special hello to you? Is it your first time, Elvis, and also Virginia? Is it your first time watching? If it is, I might give you a little round of applause. Please let me know. Christmas is always a wonderful time, even if we have bad times now. I think many people are trying their best. In fact, I think some people are using Christmas as a distraction, to distract them, to think of something else instead of all of the doom and gloom. So I think a lot of people are actually using Christmas as a distraction to stop them thinking too much about what is happening at the moment. So I think, yes, you are right. It is a wonderful time of year, no matter what is going on around us. We always try to make the best of these things. I think that's a very good way of looking at it, to be honest. Thank you very much. Belarusia is here as well. Also Valeria. I love it when you show us your city. It is so beautiful. Well, the place in which I live is actually quite small. It is a very small town. I always think that Much Wenlock is a little bit like a village. It's very small. Even though it is a town, I always see this place as a village because it isn't that big, to be honest. And yesterday, it was not busy at all. So the video that you just saw was actually filmed yesterday. And did you see Mr. Steve in that video? Did you see him? He was walking around in the distance, waving. Did you miss him? If you missed him, don't worry. I will play that a little bit later on. Anna is here. Welton. Hello, Welton Lewis. Hello, Mr. Duncan. Please say hello to the countryside of the state of Sao Paulo, which is in apparently a city called Assis in Brazil. Hello, Brazil. I know I have many people watching there. A big hello to Sao Paulo and also to everyone watching in Assis. I hope I pronounced the name right. I used to go skiing and celebrate the New Year's Eve in the mountains, but we can't for the reason that we all know. I think you are right. Thank you, Christina, for telling us that. Yes, I suppose many people do at this time of year. There are many parts of Europe where you can go skiing. Between you and me, I know I've mentioned this before, I don't like skiing. I always find anything like that, anything where you can fall over and break your bones, I always find it slightly off-putting. Not something I would want to try myself, but I do know many people do like to do it, you see. Hello, Rick San. Oh, Rick San asks a very interesting sentence, or word, should I say. Hello, Rick. Mr. Duncan, do you ever use the word thrice? So if something happens once, we can say that it happens one time. It happens once. Twice is 2 times. But if something happens 3 times, we say thrice. However, I suppose it would be fair to say that we don't use it very often. We don't use it as often as once and twice. So once, twice, thrice. However, you don't hear thrice used very often, if I was honest with you. But it is used, but I would say that once, twice is used much more often. Hello to Alessandra. Hello also Sergio. Hello, Alice. Oh, I just said Alessandra twice. I'm sorry about that. It's been one of those days. I didn't go to bed until very late last night. It's my own fault. I know what you're going to say, Mr. Duncan. The night before your live stream, you should get a very good night's sleep. But I was distracted last night by a movie that was being shown on television. And you know what it's like. You have all of these plans. I am going to bed early tonight. I'm not staying up. But of course, you become distracted by something on television, and then you end up watching it for about an hour and a half when you should be in bed, sleeping. So that's what happened last night. I was a little bit distracted by a movie that was on television. We might talk about that a little bit later on. So my eyes feel a little bit heavy today. It feels as if I need maybe 2 or 3 hours sleep. Whew. So that's the reason why. One of the reasons why I was late today as well. As you know, we like going into the garden. So I thought today we would have a look at a video that we made some time ago. In fact, I think we made this in 2018. So this is actually 2 years ago. And this is Mr. Steve and myself in the garden. And we are doing something that we have to do every year at around about this time. And then, after this, we have the real Mr. Steve. He will be here live in the studio. Oh, hello, Mr. Steve.
Hello there, Mr. Duncan.
And hello, everyone watching out there in YouTube land. We are out in the garden. It's a beautiful evening. It's a little bit chilly, but we are out here for a special reason, because we are going to cut down the Dunculus, the big Dunculus that is growing at the moment in the garden. So what are we going to do, Mr. Steve?
Well, the full name of the plant is a Cardunculus, and of course we bought this particular plant because it's got a mention of your name in it. So Cardunculus sounds like Duncan, which is, of course, your first name.
So I actually spotted this plant in the shop. I said to Mr. Steve, I said, look, Mr. Steve, this plant is called Cardunculus, and my name is Duncan. So I couldn't resist. I said to Mr. Steve, I said, let's buy one, and then we can have a Dunculus growing in the garden.
Yes, Mr. Duncan, you wanted to have a plant in the garden that sounded like it was named after you. What an ego.
Of course, I couldn't resist buying it, because it's called Cardunculus, and my name is Duncan. Mr. Steve is busy pulling up the sticks that have been holding up the Dunculus for so long. Come on, Mr. Steve, give it a good pull. There it goes. You're very good at this. You can see Mr. Steve is thinking about it. Will he be able to carry out this huge task, because of course this is a very big plant. Look at the size of it. So what do you think, Mr. Steve? Do you think you'll be able to do it?
Yes, this plant needs chopping down because it dies off in the winter, and therefore if we leave it out it won't look very nice, because you can see the one behind is already dying off. This is what you call a perennial plant, which means that it dies off during the winter months and comes back again in the spring.
So this plant will kind of regenerate itself.
Yes.
So this plant here will die off, so we will cut it away, and then next year a new plant will reappear as if by magic.
It's grown this height in one growing season, and the new baby plants are already present at the base.
That's incredible. Can you see this particular thing here, Mr. Steve? It is called a capitulum, or, as it's more commonly known, a flower head. Careful, Mr. Steve. We wouldn't want that big plant to fall on your head. So Mr. Steve will now put all of the bits of the Dunculus into the wheelie bin. I must admit, this is turning out to be a very busy evening. Job done. And there it is. Already you can see next year's cardunculus growing. And a year from now, we'll be cutting this one down. I hope you enjoyed that. In fact, that's 3 years ago. I've just realised it's not 2 years ago. It's actually 3 years ago. I don't believe it.
Hello everybody.
A round of applause for Mr. Steve. Steve, I've just noticed.
What?
I've done something today that I've never done before, or not for a long time anyway.
Were you on time for the live stream?
No, I was not. I was actually quite late today.
How late?
Very late. 15 minutes late today, but no, that's not the thing I was going to mention. I was going to mention today that I'm actually wearing a vest. Look, can you see that? Now, that's something... I don't normally do this. I can't believe I've done this today. You can see now how distracted I am today. I don't normally do this. So you can see underneath my shirt...
Good grief.
There is actually a vest. And that looks dreadful. It really does look awful.
It's not a good look. It's not a good look.
So Mr. Steve, while Mr. Steve is talking, I might actually take my clothes off and remove this vest.
Surely not while everybody is looking, Mr. Duncan.
Well, not what? No, I won't be stripping on camera. So you're okay there. You don't have to hide the children.
Although it probably would be wise.
It would be wise probably to hide yourself as well at the same time. So I might do that. It's very distracting. I don't know why. There's nothing worse when you see someone with a beautiful white shirt, and then underneath they're wearing a vest, and you can see the vest. I don't like that at all. You know me, sometimes I'm quite fussy about the way I look.
It's not the vest you should be fussy about, Mr. Duncan. It's your face.
Why?
Well, I mean, this hideous growth
You love it.
on your face.
You know what I think? I think Steve is actually jealous of my beard.
I could grow a beard just like that.
You see, but you can't have one now, you see, because it would look strange if both of us had a beard. So if there's two people on camera, one person should always just be clean shaven, like that, and then the other person can have a beard, you see, so you have a contrast. So you can't have a beard now. I beat you.
Well, maybe the viewers think differently. What do you think? Do you think I should grow a beard like Mr. Duncan?
I'm not entirely happy with my beard, though, because I want to actually... I'm thinking of dyeing the beard.
Oh, what are you going to say then?
I'm thinking of giving it a little bit of colour. So what do you think out there? Should I make my beard darker? Maybe dark brown? Maybe put a little bit of dye? A little bit of colour
It's
in?
a bit vain, Mr. Duncan. A little vain.
I'm not sure if I like the grey
You're
beard.
vain.
Yes, I know, you just said that.
I know, but I was just explaining the meaning of the word. This is, I mean, as far as I'm aware, this is an English teaching channel.
It used to be. I'm not sure what it is these
If you're
days.
vain, it means you'll pay too much attention to your own appearance. You look at yourself in the mirror, you touch up everything, you want to make yourself, you're constantly aware of yourself.
But we normally think of this as women, you see. I know it's not sexist. I mean, we all know that women tend to be a little more conscious of their appearance than men. But nowadays, of course, men are doing the same thing. What's wrong, Steve?
Too many people saying they like your beard, Mr. Duncan.
Yes.
Palmyra wants me to keep looking freshly shaven.
Yes, okay then.
Thank you. Please keep your beard. Surely not everybody wants Mr. Duncan to keep their beard.
It looks like it.
Shout out if you feel that Mr. Duncan should get rid of his beard.
Everyone likes it. This is the coolest thing that you can have now, right now. Well, it's not quite December, but December is around the corner, isn't it, Steve?
Yes, it's what's the date today, Mr. Duncan?
It is the 29th.
29 days hath September, April, June
29
and November.
29 days have September.
30 days, sorry. What's that? 30 days hath September,
Have you...
April, June and November. Is that right?
Yeah.
So November is only 30 days, so tomorrow is the last day of November.
Yes, all the rest have 31 except for February.
I don't know why I said 29. I'm obviously... Well, I've been out in the garden, Mr. Duncan. I've had nothing to eat since breakfast. So I'm a bit... Well, obviously you've had nothing to eat all day yet. Oh, no, true. I actually saw you have some cereal
I had
earlier.
some of my lovely sugary cereal.
It's Arpit's birthday today.
No, it isn't.
Oh, is it? Have I been caught again?
Have you been caught out? No, it's actually Partap again.
It's Partap.
Yes. Pretending to have a birthday. This would appear to be something that happens every week now.
So Partap is the same as Arpit. It's just a different...
Yes.
You've got me again. Well done.
Although, to be honest, with Mr. Steve, it doesn't take much doing.
So really, we can't believe anybody that says they have a birthday anymore.
Because Mr. Steve thinks there are 29 days in September. So,
30 days in September, April, June and November. That's what they told us at school, or my mother told me. Somebody must have told me to remember that particular rhyme.
Okay, then.
Elvis is in the house.
I know.
Oh.
Elvis.
And Virginia from Uruguay.
Yes. So we have
Exciting.
Elvis, and I think maybe they are first-time viewers. So is it your first time? If so, we will give you a lovely round of applause.
I think so.
Very nice.
I've never seen Elvis before, so welcome. And Christina, watching that video, says the garden looks fantastic and wishes to compliment the gardener.
Yes, well, Steve...
Who is the gardener?
Guess what? This morning I was secretly filming Mr. Steve. I was filming you, Steve, in the garden. Let's have a look, shall we? So here is Steve this morning.
He's always secretly filming me.
A man with a purpose.
That's a little area of the garden that I've... that there used to be a bush. You see the bush to the left of me?
Yeah.
That used to go all the way across to that tree on my right.
So now we just have a big giant hole.
Yes, but the thing is, you see, it was making the garden look smaller. So I thought that I would cut this hedge down. And the idea is I'm going to put some lovely low-lying plants in there.
Yeah.
And then it would just look nice. It will give it a bit of depth to the garden.
Yes, I must admit, at first I didn't like this idea. When Steve said he was going to make a big hole in the garden, I thought, no, don't do that, please. But actually, I quite like the idea now. I can see what Mr. Steve was aiming for. What are you doing there?
I'm just clearing up because you can see that big gap. See where I've walked across there?
Yes.
That was all bush.
Okay, then.
And that particular bush, I'm not quite sure what it's called.
It's like a hawthorn, isn't it?
It's like a hawthorn. It has the most awful spines on it.
Well, thorns.
Thorns. I mean, they go literally right through your shoes.
I know.
And as you discovered, Mr. Duncan, when you walked... So if you leave any bits of twig there, and then you stand on there, unless you're wearing shoes with a very hard sole, which those are, then they will go straight through your shoe.
Yeah. As I found out the other week when I went down there, I went to that part of the garden in my little flip-flops, and I was suddenly aware of about 1,000 thorns stabbing into my foot.
I know. So, but it's actually, when it's in flower, it's a beautiful bush. It has lovely orange flowers. And then in the winter, you have lovely orange berries. So I'm going to let it grow at the top from now on. And then the birds will love us.
I think the birds will love that next summer. I can't wait to see it next summer when the sun is shining. And hopefully there will be no coronavirus.
So, Christina, the compliments are for me. Thank you very much.
Yes, there you go. So, yes. And as I mentioned earlier, December is just around the corner, and you know what that means, don't you, Steve?
December's round the corner. Yes, that means that. Are we talking a word beginning with C or X?
Well, I'm thinking of quite a few words beginning with C.
What about the one beginning with X?
X.
Are you talking about Christmas, Mr.
Yes,
Duncan?
Christmas. Let's just get to the point, shall we? Yes. Christmas is coming, everyone. I absolutely love that. There was no one in town yesterday. The town was actually deserted. There was no one there. But the lights were on and I couldn't resist doing a little bit of filming in town. So it's official. Christmas has arrived in Much Wenlock, even though no one seems all that bothered. Because every year, Steve, we always have a lovely celebration, don't we?
What, Christmas?
For Christmas in Much
Oh,
Wenlock.
yes. Oh, I see what you mean. Yes.
In Much Wenlock.
The Christmas fair.
That's it. But this year, no Christmas fair, no grand procession, no switching on of the Christmas lights. They've just done it. I didn't even realise.
I know, no announcement. Christina says, back to me.
Okay.
Christina says, how did you learn gardening? Well, my father taught me because we had a big garden when we were growing up. So my father used to grow crops, bushes, all sorts of things. And we had a big lawn, which I had to cut. We had a greenhouse. So we used to put seeds in and then plant them into pots and then put them in the garden. So, yes, my father taught me, really. And then, of course, you pick it up as you go along. But it's great exercise. I love gardening because you don't have to worry about going to the gym. You don't have to worry about going on long runs. If you spend an hour in the garden, that's a big workout.
Yeah.
And you're using all your muscles. Using your back, your legs, your arms, everything.
Yes.
So it's a great workout, gardening. So you don't have to, if you do even half an hour, it means you don't have to worry about, you don't have to subscribe to a gym.
No.
Or what's another word for a gym?
A gym.
A gym.
Health club.
Health club. Spend
Gym.
all that money on the weights and you have to be near people who could be infected,
Well,
not just with coronavirus, but you get cold, flu. Do you know, I did join a gym.
Did you?
We did, didn't we? We joined the local gym.
We did. What's this got to do with gardening?
As I was saying, if you do gardening, there's no need to do any other exercise.
Oh, I see.
Obviously, if you want to build up particular muscle groups,
Okay.
then... But then I don't like gyms. I'm not sociable enough. Whenever I went for about 6 months to a gym and I caught more colds and things than I'd ever had in my life, because you've got all these people sweating. You've got to handle all the equipment.
Yes.
I even got cold sores. I'd never had cold sores. I must have picked it up off a bit of equipment.
Sorry? But if you do insist on sniffing all of the seats where the people have been exercising, you know...
What do you, Mr. Duncan? Well, it's disgusting. You think about it. People are sweating, and they're sitting on all this equipment.
Yes, okay then.
And then you've got to go and sit on it afterwards.
Yes, I know.
Disgusting.
I don't know where you're putting your face.
But, you feel dirty afterwards. Yes. You can't use, you've got to wash everything. We don't go anymore, Mr. Duncan. We don't go.
The garden isn't too big. A lot of people say the garden is big, but it's bigger than some gardens, but it's smaller than others.
It's a lot of work for me.
We were looking at other properties, weren't we, a couple of weeks ago? So yes. A few days ago, we were looking on the internet just out of curiosity.
Well,
because we were getting a little itchy. We were thinking of moving. Can you believe that?
Yes, but I won't say exactly why, Mr. Duncan, but we were a little upset.
Yes, that's all. You are saying why then.
Bye.
No, nothing. Steve, I will literally have to cut you off. But yes, we were thinking of moving somewhere else. So we were looking at other houses, and some of them had really big gardens. But then we realised that, Steve realised that he would have to do all the work in the garden. And some of these gardens, there was one house that we looked at. It had 6 acres of garden.
That's a lot of work.
And then we realised that, poor Mr. Steve, he's not young anymore. He's pushing it a bit.
I look younger than you, Mr. Duncan.
Those birthday cakes every year are getting larger and heavier.
Yes, like your waist, Mr. Duncan. I'm in one of those moods today, Mr. Duncan. You'll have to get revenge on me later.
Yeah, or now.
Birthday boy Arpit says, is there anyone from Latin America?
I don't know.
I think Uruguay. Isn't that Latin America? Elvis. So we thought Elvis was no more, but he's popped up in Uruguay.
Yes.
With Virginia.
It might also be another Elvis, you see. There are other Elvis people on the planet.
Adoralia is from... the message was just retracted.
Oh.
But Mexico, I think. I think he said. Sergio says, gyms are for losers. Gardening is for tough guys. You've got it, Sergio.
Oh, I see.
You've got it.
I don't know what you're doing.
Takes a real man to be able to do some gardening.
Okay. You all right? I'm just wondering what Mr. Steve is actually growing in that garden. I think he might be growing something illegal in maybe one of the corners.
I could do.
I think you've consumed quite a lot of it today.
No, the thing with the marijuana is it needs a lot of sunlight.
Okay, then.
So I've heard.
I have no idea.
So you can't grow it in a shady spot.
Okay.
It has to be in full blazing sunlight, apparently.
Apparently.
People grow it in their lofts, don't they?
Well, they grow it anywhere. They grow it all over the place. They grow it anywhere that can't be seen.
But I mean, drug dealers will grow it.
Well,
in their loft, in the roof space in their house.
You know, the dealers aren't the people that grow it.
Okay, the growers there, but there could be dealers and growers.
Not always. There's a bit of a chain. You see, you tend to have the growers,
really,
and then you have down the chain you have the dealers. So they're normally at the bottom of the chain. You see, they're the ones that have to take all of the risks. So the growers, and then you have the people that are organising it all at the top, the kingpins. You know, they're the ones that can get things done.
Seem to know a lot about the drug trade, Mr. Duncan.
Well, I've watched Breaking Bad.
Yeah, that's true. Yes,
I watched Breaking Bad. I know everything now. Everything.
So what are we talking about today, Mr. Duncan?
Well,
is there a theme to today's live stream?
Is there ever? Is there
theme stream? That was a rhyme.
Yes, okay, Steve. Commenting on everything that comes out your mouth. I said that word. It's a word. I said it. Did you hear the word? The word. The word I just said.
That's a good question, Olga. Mr. Steve, would you allow Mr. Duncan to do gardening if he decided to help you? There's a very, very good question.
You would not. No, is the answer.
See, I moan that I have to do it all, even though I enjoy it.
But you would be complaining. Oh, don't cut that. Oh, don't put that there.
I would.
Oh,
I would.
No, you're not supposed to put that there. No, I don't want that there. No, you're cutting too much off. No, don't do that. No, don't do that. No, go over there. No, stop doing that. No, you're not supposed to have those branches. No, don't cut those off. So that's the reason why I don't do it. There are two sides to this story. So the reason why I don't help Mr. Steve in the garden is because it would be a very painful experience for me.
But what you could do, I could do all the cutting and you could do all the clearing up.
Oh, okay.
See, that's what my father and mother, that's how they used to work. Dad would do all the heavy manual work.
Okay.
And mother would clear up all the mess, all the bits.
So your mother wasn't up a ladder sawing off the big branches?
No, she was doing the weeding, things like that, which is very bad for your back, by the way. Vitas, yes, thank you for your comment. I do know that in the UK they are planning to ban internal combustion engines. So petrol and diesel by 2030.
No.
I can't see it happening.
No, they've already said they're not going to.
Have they?
Well, people have complained.
Yes, it's ridiculous.
Mainly the people that sell oil. Is that a surprise? Apparently the people who were most outraged by this decision were people that sell oil and people who sell petrol and diesel cars. Who would have imagined that?
I mean, they're very efficient now.
Okay, Steve, we have a new rule here.
Can't see it happening.
We don't talk about cars for more than 10 seconds, and you've done it. That's it.
Well,
it's gone.
If people ask questions about cars, then I'm going to feel obliged to answer them.
Well, we have.
I'm going to be drawn to any question that is about cars.
They are saying 2030, but they always say these things. Do you remember when 2020 was going to be this new age? I remember 20 years ago, in 2000, everyone was saying, by 2020, the earth will be a much better place to live in. Everyone will be friendly, there will be no wars, and all of the countries will be getting along really well, and there will be no cars, no pollution. 2020, that's when it's happening. That's when it's happening. Here we are now in 2020. How is it going? Is it going well?
Yes, Valentina, we may well have arguments if both of us were in the garden. And with all those dangerous tools
Yeah, there's one here. You walked into that. Come on, Steve. You kind of walked into that.
I'm talking about loppers, saws, all sorts of dangerous equipment like that around. If you were to lose your temper, you could be tempted to inflict injuries
Just anything.
on one another.
I mean, anything in Mr. Steve's hand is dangerous. A loaf of bread. He could cause a lot of damage with just a loaf of bread.
Christina says yes. What is the subject of today's lesson?
I have no idea. Now, today we are playing the sentence game, by the way, Steve.
Ooh.
But it's going to be different.
Ooh. Good, because some people said, can we just make it a bit different?
Well, that's what I've done.
Oh.
So for those complaining last week that the sentence game is a boring load of crap, this week we have the sentence game with initials of well-known phrases. What do you think of those apples?
Pardon? What do you think of those apples?
Yes.
What does that mean,
This
Mr.
phrase
Duncan?
that we say is, what do you think about that?
Never heard of it.
What do you think about that? What do you think about them apples?
Oh.
What do you think about that?
Jackson, gardening and cars, says Saturina. What does that mean? Oh,
Well, Christina Jackson is Christina Jackson.
Okay.
Gardening.
Gardening in cars. Well,
is
I could
the
talk about that
subjects.
all day.
Those are the subjects we've been
yes.
talking about, you see. I'm glad one of us understands.
Until the sentence game, what are we going to be talking about, Mr.
Well, we're talking about lots of things. First of all, we're also talking about my socks. We also have a little gift as well that we've been sent. A little video from one of our long-term viewers who at the moment is not able to watch. So first of all, my socks. Yes, here are my socks. Today's socks, they are spotty. So I'm wearing my orange and green socks today. I also have my jeans, but if you notice at the bottom of my jeans, they are covered with mud. There is mud. And that's because I went out last week to do a live stream and I had to walk for about 2 miles in the mud. It was horrible, Steve. I was slipping and I was sliding all over the place. So that's what I was doing last week. So we've seen them. Today's socks. They are.
How exciting.
It's exciting for me and maybe one other person on the planet. Here we go then. Here's a gift. What do you want to say, Steve?
I was going to say Blanca
Okay.
in Mexico is growing avocados.
Ooh.
Now, yes, we can't really grow them in this country. You probably can in a greenhouse, but yes, I love avocados. And of course, they're very popular in the UK, probably across Europe as well. And they're very healthy. You wouldn't think so, but avocados are actually full of fat.
Yes, they
There's
are.
a lot of fat in avocado, but it's supposedly healthy fat.
Healthy fat.
Probably turn out in 10 years' time that the fat in avocados is deadly.
Yes.
But for now, they think it's good for us.
Yeah, that's it.
I love avocado. Mixed with a salad, avocado salad with tomatoes, small little nice juicy tomatoes and beetroot, all mixed together with some salad cream. I have that most days, actually. So, Blanca, please send me some of your lovely avocados. I would like that. Yeah. Well, when I was a child,
When you were a child,
I used to grow avocados. You can grow them here indoors because if you buy an avocado, there's a big stone inside, and you put that in a pot, and you get a lovely plant that you can grow in your house, and it looks very nice in your living room.
good. That's good. I'm glad Pedro's here.
Hello, Pedro. Hello to everyone, but hello to Pedro.
Pedro Belmont is
Pedro
here.
actually said something to me. How to cure a shame?
Well, how to cure shame.
Do you mean shame if you've done something that's embarrassing, something awful that makes other people shun you?
Yeah. Well, I think Pedro's on about feeling a little maybe shy or timid. So maybe shame can be a similar word. Maybe I don't know. I mean, that's how I'm reading it anyway. So
Yes, what do you mean, Pedro?
so maybe it's self-confidence. Maybe you mean self-confidence. Well, that's something you learn over time. You might be shy when you were young. You might be a little introvert, maybe shy, timid when you are young. But of course, my advice is always gain as much experience, explore new horizons, learn a skill. Have a skill, you see. So when you have some sort of skill that you can show to other people, then they will also be interested in what you have to offer. So having a certain skill, something you can do, is a very good way of building your self-confidence.
Yes.
So,
Yes. I'm humiliated, says Pedro, myself, because a woman. Things I never did before. I'm humiliated myself. Now, what happened, Pedro? I mean, you don't have to share this with us.
This seems
but
like
what did you do?
this seems personal. I don't think we should be going down
Well,
this.
Pedro's saying he's putting it down
Well,
there,
I'm not-
so we want to know why.
I'm not saying Pedro isn't, but I'm saying that for the sake of
Well, if Pedro wants to share his experience with
Okay,
a
then.
woman.
This-
I'm disappointed it's a woman, but you know,
this is the person that said we have nothing to talk about.
there's always something to talk about because people are always putting nice suggestions on. Adoralia says guacamole. Guacamole. Guacamole is like a sort of a dip made from avocado.
Yes, it's like a paste.
Well, we bought some guacamole, didn't we, once, Mr. Duncan?
Yes.
And we didn't realise it contained avocado.
Well, guacamole is avocado.
I know, but
You'd have to be pretty stupid not to realise that.
Yes, but
I didn't know that.
Yes, no, I haven't told you the story yet, Mr. Duncan.
Yes, I know the story. You're going to tell me that we bought some guacamole, we
Yes.
ate it, and then I was ill.
You were
because-
ill because you're allergic to avocado.
Yes, but I knew anyway that guacamole has avocados.
Well, why
in
did
it.
you eat it then?
Because I didn't know. I didn't know I was allergic to avocados because I never really eat them in my whole life.
No, exactly.
But I knew that guacamole has avocados in the actual mixture because it's mostly avocado. That's like saying tomato sauce. You didn't realise tomato sauce was made of tomatoes.
Ooh, people are talking about food. Honey likes shrimp salad, pasta salad, tuna salad, veggie salad, any salad really.
Just salad.
Potato salad. You just like salad.
Salad.
Tomic says go out of your comfort zone. I still want to know what Pedro's done to a woman.
Yes.
Or maybe a woman's done something to him. I say forget women. You know, there's other fruit on the tree.
Okay.
I'm only joking.
That's a great choice of word, by the way, fruit. Literally.
I use them as repellent, says Sergio. Is that women or is that avocados?
Okay.
Sorry, I don't mean to be abusing women, you know, on the
What?
live chat.
Okay, then.
Yes, a lot of people are sad by Maradona. And yes, I would imagine that he was, of course, a big hero in your country, in
Actually,
Argentina. So,
I panicked last week. I looked at Twitter and I thought it said Madonna at
Well,
first.
I thought somebody said that earlier. And I thought it said Madonna. I thought we'd missed some news.
I thought it did on Twitter. I read it quickly on Twitter last week and I thought it said Madonna.
Diego. Well, we saw a programme last night all about him, didn't
Although
we?
it said Argentinian footballer Madonna. And I thought, I don't remember Madonna playing football.
Yes, so yes, we watched a programme about Diego last night, didn't we? It was quite interesting about his the story of his life.
We watched 15 minutes of it.
Well, we watched something of it. I mean, we're not really interested in football, but
No.
we did I always find it interesting to learn, as you do, Mr. Duncan, when people become successful, how do they get to that point?
Yes.
Obviously, he must have had a tremendous talent.
Well, yes.
And then honed that talent. If you hone something, it means you learn how to do it to the best of your ability. And then became extremely successful.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
yes,
his career went up and then quite steeply down again for various reasons.
Yes, Christina.
Mostly due to you know what. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, it's very interesting. I've never really been a big fan of football. I've never really followed football. I vaguely remember I think it was when he touched the ball when it went into the goal. That's all I remember really. And I also remember, was that the time Gary Lineker pooped in his shorts and he had to wipe his bum on the field?
Really?
Who remembers that? Yes, Gary Lineker once had a poo in his shorts and he had to wipe his bum like a dog on the floor.
How disgusting.
I remember that.
Yes, Christina, I have invented a new recipe. Christina says, have I ever invented a new recipe, presumably for food?
Yes.
Well, yes.
Well, burnt things.
Well, when I say invented, I haven't invented one. I've sort of altered. I like to sort of experiment in the kitchen.
It turns recipes into coal.
That does happen a lot because our cooker the rings get so hot.
It's not. It's
if you turn your back on our rings
for
more than a few seconds, they just burn all the cooking.
Or if you go away for 20 minutes and look at the computer and watch Shirley Bassey videos and then come back down and there's smoke coming out of the saucepan.
Yes, Christina, Maradona was a great champion, but he wasn't prepared for all that success.
That's it,
that's it.
You can have too much fame, you can have too much success, and you can be... It's happened a lot in show business, let's face it. There are many, many stories. Maybe actors, actresses, singers, people involved in the show business industry. And I suppose, in a way, you might say that sport is almost like show business. So you don't just see sports personalities doing what they do best.
Bye, Mosen. Mosen's off.
Mosen's going. See you later.
See you later. Thanks for coming on.
But also you see sports stars everywhere now. They're on television, they're advertising things. So it's almost like show business. But if you have fame, if you have a lot of attention, suddenly you can either deal with it and accept it, or you can find it hard to deal with. So, yes, that can happen.
Matt O'Reilly is off as well. See you next time.
I think it's getting late, you see.
Yes, it is in a lot of countries.
So that is one of the reasons why some of our Asian viewers are now vanishing, including someone who has sent a lovely message. Would you like to see the message? Mika in Japan has sent a message and also a drawing as well. Would you like to see it? Here it is right now. This is the message from Mika.
Hello, Mr. Duncan. Hello, Mr. Steve. And hello, everyone. I'm Mika. How are you? I'm okay. Can you see what I'm drawing? I hope you get it. Yes, it's our teacher, Mr. Duncan. Sadly, I can't join you during the winter months because of the time difference. But I've always checked all of the lessons, so I have a feeling that I've always been with you. Enjoy the lesson. See you soon, and stay safe.
Interesting. And that picture does look very realistic. Shall we just fade? Let's have a look, shall we? Oh, yes, it does look like me. What do you think, Steve?
Well, yes, it's horrific. I mean, it's a very good likeness.
What?
And thank you, Mika.
Okay.
For you're a very good artist. Look at all the talents that our viewers have. It's a very, very good likeness. So well done, Mika. I wish I could draw like that. I couldn't. I've never been able to draw. I can draw stick men. That's about it. But yes, it is very realistic. I think actually in real life you look considerably older than that picture, that drawing.
Oh.
If I was to look at you now, I'd say the drawing takes 10 years off you.
Yes, I think that's great. The drawing looks better than the original, says Tomek. That's all I've got to say
That's
to
what I
that.
just said.
Yes.
Yeah, she's an artist. A lot of people, yeah.
I do like Mika's English as well.
Yes,
Your
Tias has said that.
Yes, your English is amazing. Very clear, very precise, and very easy to understand.
Elvis is going to lunch with somebody. Blimey. To come on this live stream and you're hooking up with people left, right and centre. Oh, that's great. Who? Who are you going to lunch with? We'd like to know. I missed that bit. So, setting up dates for socialising.
Yeah.
Well, that's brilliant. See, what we love about this, Mr. Duncan, is that there's like a community here
Yes.
on your live stream, and people are meeting up and talking to each other, and it looks like they're meeting up for lunch.
Yes. I don't know.
We haven't even been invited.
No, well, we can't go anywhere anyway because we're still in lockdown, you see, until Wednesday. By the way, Wednesday, I am doing a special live stream from the centre of Much Wenlock as we come out of lockdown, even though we are now going into a different type of lockdown. So we are going from very severe lockdown to not so severe, you see. So, yes, I will be live in the centre of Much Wenlock on Wednesday doing a live stream. Hopefully that will work. And I hope I won't be arrested by anyone. What's that? Where's the sentence game? It will be coming soon, don't worry. A lot of people said they liked watching me last week on the swing,
Right.
acting like a little child.
Well, yes, it's nice to act in a, regress back to your childhood. And as long as you're not upsetting anybody, it's nice to bring that child in yourself and
Yes.
just act in a way that is totally unself-conscious and just have some fun.
Yes, we all have a child inside us, which is
Because I think,
better than the other way round.
Mr. Duncan,
What?
I'm a big boy now.
You certainly are. So for those who missed it last week, that was me playing on the swing and also the slide, and we were getting some very strange looks from the passers-by as well. Why not? You are never too old to play like a child. Why
Definitely
not? Why not?
not.
Why not?
as long as you don't get arrested, then it's fine.
That's the secret, you see. That's the secret.
It's the beard. You see, if you didn't have that beard, people would just assume that you were sort of 11 years old.
Steve,
Yes?
we've forgotten something. Something very important. This week, not very far from where I live, we had a drama.
Yes.
Yes.
A real-life drama.
Not only that, but something I did actually got into the local paper and onto
Yes.
the local news website.
It wasn't criminal activity.
It wasn't, for a change. So it wasn't me hanging around the children's play area. Nothing like that.
You weren't arrested for that, were you?
No, not yet anyway. And but something very, very dramatic happened. There was a fire.
Yes.
So let me tell you the story first of all. What I was doing, I was filming across the countryside. I was trying to find some deer because the deer are starting to move around now. So I was filming a certain area which is quite far away from where I live. And then suddenly I noticed there was some smoke coming up.
In the distance.
Yes. So
How far away?
Oh, well, I think it must have been 5 or 6 miles away.
I don't
maybe.
think it's that far.
Really?
No.
Oh, I see. So
No.
nearer than that.
Yes.
Anyway, back to the story, if I can remember it. Yes, I looked across and I saw some smoke. So I zoomed in with my camera. And this is what I saw. look at that. There was a fire taking place. Please excuse the watermark because that's for me, so people can't steal the footage. But that is a fire taking place. Apparently what happened is there was a garden fire and then it spread to some houses and then the houses caught fire. So I actually managed to catch it. But look at this. Watch. Keep watching. Look at that. There was then an explosion that happened.
Yes, and the windows were rattling in the house.
Yes, it caused a huge bang. Apparently that was a gas cylinder exploding that someone had stored away.
In their caravan.
Yeah. So the whole thing went up in smoke. And then there was a huge explosion, and I actually caught it on video. So I couldn't believe that. And I actually put that on Twitter, and then the local newspaper that it also has a website used this video to actually report the story. So I suddenly found myself getting quite a lot of attention.
Show it again, Mr. Duncan.
Shall I show it again? If we must.
Yes, and, well, you see, as the crow flies, that's probably only 2 miles away from our house, if that. Because when we say as the crow flies, shall we just wait for that to show the wonderful explosion?
It's a wonderful explosion. What a strange way of describing it. Here it comes.
Look at that. And that was, you were filming that. That was a long way away. Well, about two miles as the crow flies. If you were to drive there in the car.
Who is this crow you keep talking about?
Well, that's what you say, isn't it? If you were to go directly to that place in a straight line.
Okay.
If a bird flies, then obviously the distance is shorter than if you drive around twisty roads, because the roads don't go directly there. So it may be 5 miles away if you're driving in a car, but if you were to go directly on the map in a straight line, it's only 2 miles away, as the crow flies.
So it's direct and indirect. So direct is straight across. Indirect is when you follow maybe a road or a path. So you might have to go all the way round to get somewhere, but you can also say something is direct, the direct distance.
As the crow flies, we tend to say.
As the crow flies.
Yes, which is obviously a shorter distance than if you were to go along the actual road.
Anyway, that's what happened.
Yes, well, a whole house was demolished.
A whole house was burnt down.
Yes, the explosion burnt this whole house, somebody's house.
Yes.
And damaged lots of others. And it's only a small village. It's only about, probably smaller, I would say, smaller than our village here. I would say probably only about 100 houses, if that.
But the local news caught hold of it, and they wanted some video footage, and they used my video to show the fire and also the explosion as a gas cylinder exploded. Fortunately, and I suppose we should say this, Steve, no one was hurt or seriously injured because they managed to evacuate the area. So everyone was able to move away, and then the fire engines came and they put the fire out. But yes, it was quite strange how something that was very innocent, I was just trying to film some deer. By the way, I didn't see any deer because the explosion scared them all away. So
yes.
Thanks a lot for that.
Sergio, by the way, says you're bonkers.
Who said that?
Sergio, for going on the swing. Jaya Roy says bonkers, of course, means crazy.
Yes, you should have seen me just before that when I was kicking all the kids off. I was saying, hey, you little brat, get off there. I want to play. It's my turn.
Yes, if you're bonkers, it just means you do silly things.
Yes.
Like Mr. Duncan.
Like we said last week, there's no harm in being silly. Mr. Duncan, why are the live captions not here? Oh dear. Oh. It is YouTube. YouTube have made loads of changes. I don't know why, but they seem to want you to have a difficult time watching videos and live streams. I don't know why, but there are no live captions. I will put some captions on later, But YouTube at the moment, I don't know why. I've actually checked other people's live streams, and they also don't have captions. So very few people have captions on their live streams now, and it's all because of YouTube. I don't know why. YouTube has a very strange habit where they give you something new, but then they take two things away from you. So they give you one thing, but then they decide to take two things away from you that were very useful. So that's what's happened. I don't know why.
Yeah, sorry, Partridge. It's not Mr. Duncan's fault. It's YouTube. So send a message to YouTube and say, why can't we get live captions on Mr. Duncan's live stream?
Yes, it's not fair. And also, but another thing I've noticed is now that YouTube is suggesting that we go to another website or other companies who will provide captions.
Who's saying that?
YouTube. They give you recommended sites that you can go to, but you have to pay hundreds and hundreds of pounds to get them. So, great. Thanks, YouTube. Another good move there.
Yes, because that's having a direct impact on the ability of your viewers to change the language and see the actual what you're saying in their own language.
Well,
so yes, that's
we can't even see it in English.
What you mean? What else can't you see? The live. Can you see you can see the comment, of course. Yes.
Well, you can see the live chat. Yes.
The live chat, but you can't see
the captions that appear here.
Yes.
They don't generate anymore. You can't get them, and I am a little bit angry about it. I'm not going to mislead you. It really has annoyed me.
Yes.
Because a lot of people have complained, and it's nothing to do with me. It is to do with YouTube and some of the crazy things they do that make absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Christina's going. Goodbye, Christina.
See you later, Christina.
See you next time.
We are going to play the sentence game, but different.
Yes, says Vin. Vin wants the sentence game.
Yes, but something different today, Steve. We're doing a different thing, you see. Yes.
Yes, Partridge has come back because they've got free time now, and I will be available regularly for 3 to 4 months. So welcome back.
Yes. Winter is on the way, Steve.
It's here.
Yes, and on the 1st of December, it is officially winter. So on the last day of November, winter will be waiting. It will be waiting to come and bite us all on the bottoms. So I thought it would be nice to relive a moment of one of those winters where the snow fell on the ground. Memory of winters that have passed. Isn't that lovely?
Well, it's been very warm so far this winter.
Yes.
When I say this winter, I mean since October.
Yes.
September, October last year, November, we'd used a lot of heating oil. We've used only about half as much this year, so it shows how much warmer it has been this year.
Yes,
during the winter period.
It's been very wet, a very wet and mild autumn, but winter is officially on its way from the 1st of December. Although we've had no snow yet, it's not cold enough really, because as Steve just mentioned, it's quite mild. But I thought I would show you something from, I think it was 3 years ago now.
Was that 3 years ago? You were making a snow angel.
My little snow angel in the garden.
If you do that, if you fall back in the snow and spread your legs and arms out like that, you are making a snow angel.
And I'm hoping that we will get a little bit of snow. Maybe not much, who knows? But I do remember a couple of years ago we had a lot of heavy snow. In fact, I think it was 2 years ago that I filmed that.
Do we know any Turkish words, Mr. Duncan?
Turkish. I know turquoise.
Because we have been to Turkey
We have.
on several occasions.
Well, it was actually a very long time ago now.
Haydar, and I'm sure we must have learnt some Turkish words, but I can't remember now.
9 years ago we went to Turkey.
Yes, so sorry we can't remember. If you would please tell us what the Turkish word for hello is, then that's probably we would recognise that.
It's a good place to start. I remember obrigado. And remember obrigado?
That isn't that.
Thank you.
But that's not Turkish, is it?
No, I'm just saying. I remember from our travels, not necessarily Turkey.
I think that's. I think that was when we went to Portugal. So that's probably Portuguese.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, obrigado. It's
Steve,
certainly not French.
I can hear Steve now digging a hole.
Well, it's not French, is it?
There's
So,
obrigado in Turkey.
Was it? I don't remember that.
Yes.
Sounds very Latin to me.
That's okay then.
Obrigado. I think that's.
It may have been
It
when
could
we.
be
Oh, I know
Spain.
when it was. It was when we were in Madeira. I think that's when it was.
Madeira. Well, that
Yes.
is Portuguese, isn't it? Madeira. Is
That's
it Portuguese or
Yes.
Spanish? Madeira.
Yes, Portugal.
That's it. Obrigado. So there we go.
Are we going to play the sentence game today? Everyone's asking now.
Tomek says he knows one Turkish word, Erdogan.
Oh, yes. What does that mean?
Well, I think he's referring to the Turkish Prime Minister
Oh,
or
I see.
President.
Yes.
Not sure.
So which one is he?
Yes.
He's a president.
Well, I don't know if in Turkey, do you have a president or a prime minister?
Well,
I don't know.
In countries that have a president, there is quite often a prime minister as well. I suppose you might see in certain countries there'll be both, but some countries there aren't. You see, like I suppose the United States, you have a president, but you don't have a prime minister. So it varies from country to country, to be honest.
Obrigado is Portuguese.
Yes, that's it.
So yes.
I got confused there, but
Well.
yes, that was from our time in Madeira, not Turkey.
And Lewis has confirmed Madeira is indeed a Portuguese island.
It is. I made a video all about it when we were there.
Beautiful island. Absolutely beautiful. It was the runway.
The runway
in the airport that is particularly unusual.
I thought you were doing some fashion modelling or something then.
If you want to, it's a very risky landing and takeoff. Well, particularly landing in the in the runway in Madeira.
What?
If you were to look up. What would you look up, Mr. Duncan? Do you look up dangerous landings, Madeira, plane landings?
Well, just look for
Google that.
Just look for planes landing or aeroplanes landing Madeira, and you will see that the airfield, the actual runway, goes off into the sea, and it's supported by these huge pillars. So as you come towards the runway, you are still over the ocean. You're still over the sea. It's a very strange feeling.
It must be very tricky for the pilots. And when you take off, the aeroplane has to, it feels like it's going vertically. I don't know why it has to do that, but it has to apply absolutely maximum
It has to go-
power.
All planes go vertical, don't they?
Well, I mean, it feels like they did warn us.
They don't go down.
But there are, because it's also very windy, because it's in the middle of the ocean.
They're supposed to go
They
up.
get a lot of wind, so the landings can be, there's lots of pictures of planes sort of going like that and then
Like
having
that.
to take off again. And we were quite worried because we'd watched all these on the internet. There's nothing worse, is there, than watching internet videos of planes crashing or having dodgy landings, and just before you're about to go in a plane yourself. Have you ever done that? It's
No.
it's the worst thing you can do.
Well, you wouldn't do that unless you were really stupid.
But we did, though, because you said, we're going to Madeira, but there's all these videos about sort of very dangerous landings in Madeira, and look what happens to the planes. There was one, it was literally going like that. It was going into land, and it was just all over the place. We thought, oh, my goodness.
Okay.
And when we took off, when we were going away, they warned us that the aeroplane would be climbing at a much steeper rate than normal.
I just love...
And I don't know why it has to.
Planes go vertical when they're taking off.
Yes,
though.
but normally I think it felt like you were sort of pinned back in your seat. It felt like you were going into space. That's all I remember, Mr. Duncan.
I think maybe you were.
Has anybody been to Madeira? Have they got any experiences of the runway and landing or taking off in Madeira?
Yes.
Is anyone watching in Madeira?
Is anyone watching it all now?
Beautiful island. We went to, so you'll have to show that video one day. I remember you being very scared about going in the ski lift.
Ski lift?
Well, it's not a ski lift, but what do you call it?
Well, was it the skiing season in Madeira?
What do you call the cable car? That's it. The cable car.
Skiing in Madeira.
Well, I couldn't think of the word cable car.
It's off the coast of Africa.
So I couldn't think of the word cable car. I know they don't do skiing.
Skiing. Check out the skiing in Madeira. It's lovely at this time of year.
Oh, but they do this interesting sport in Madeira, whereby because all the streets are sloping and they're all cobbled.
All of them.
Yes, because it's very mountainous.
There's one.
Hilly. Yeah, but and you can get on these sledges. I think they're made of wicker or some kind of wood, and you can literally sort of almost ski. I don't know what you call it down the streets in Madeira.
they're like giant picnic baskets.
Yes,
on two skis, and they
exactly.
And
so
the person will run next to them.
People do ski in Madeira.
Imagine a toboggan that looks like a giant picnic basket, and that's it. But
it's very dangerous. People die.
Nobody goes skiing.
Well, you just said they do.
No, that's not skiing.
Not on snow. Well, it's skiing if you've got skis and you're sliding. So technically, I was right because you do take the cable car.
Everyone's
to
going.
The top.
Steve.
They're not. The numbers are going up, Mr. Duncan.
No, they're not.
They are. It was 138 when I looked last time. Now it says 150. Best regards from Istanbul.
That's just me. I've got
postcard.
lots of devices all around me watching me just to get their viewing figures to go up.
Did we ever go to an airport in Gibraltar?
No.
Says Inaki.
Never been there.
They have to stop the traffic every time an aircraft lands.
Really?
Well, presumably it comes so low over the road
yes.
that they have to stop the traffic.
Maybe they have flying cars there.
Please tell us, is anyone...
there.
Sergio says Madeira is made for drinking. Well, yes. Madeira wine.
Yes, well done.
We went on a tour of a wine factory, didn't we?
A wine factory.
A winery. You call it a winery.
A winery or a distillery.
People will leave if we don't play the sentence game very soon, Mr. Duncan.
A wine factory. There's people all lined up putting tops on wine bottles.
Yes, you look it up in Madeira. They ski, or I don't know what you call it, down the steep cobbled streets, and tourists have died because
cobbled.
Yeah, they're cobbled.
They're not cobbled.
Well, they're slippery.
They're shiny.
Shiny.
Yes.
I think you would say cobbled.
They are shiny, but yes, but if you're looking for snow. Can I just say that Madeira is not a good place to go for snow?
I think they have had snow there, but they're not known for it.
Well, there was a big peak at the top of Madeira in the centre that we drove up to, but that might get a little bit of snow. But to be honest with you...
covered in cloud. We went into mist.
There's no snowing in Madeira.
Right, sentence game, Mr. Duncan, or whatever you're calling it this week.
Well, I'm still calling it the sentence game because I didn't have time to retitle this.
Funchal Airport, one of the most difficult in the world, says Lewis. Yes, there was a plane crash there. A whole Portuguese football team lost their lives in Madeira, in Funchal. I can believe it. It's renowned for being a very dangerous airport. Well... there you go, Mr. Duncan.
I hope you're having a happy Sunday.
Well, I'm just repeating what Lewis says. And I hope your wife's feeling better, Lewis. A few people have made comments about that. There's no snow in Madeira, says Lewis.
No,
Okay.
there's snow in
So they do ski down the slippery.
So the cable cars are not ski lifts. You're not skiing anywhere in Madeira. Just in case you're going to book your holiday for the skiing season in Madeira, there's no skiing.
Well, I said ski lift because I couldn't think of the word cable car, so that's what came to mind.
Steve, although if you have a lot of Madeira wine, you might end up on the piste.
Ah, very clever, Mr. Duncan.
Did you like that? A little joke there. Ooh, very
Vitas
nice.
says that Rasputin's favourite drink was Madeira wine.
Yes. I'm guessing
maybe.
that wasn't that the thing that poisoned him, though.
Yes.
Wasn't that the last thing he ever had to drink? His Madeira wine.
Maybe it's in the song, the famous song
What?
of Rasputin
The famous song.
by what's the group, Mr. Duncan?
I don't know what you're on about.
Rasputin.
Look, there's some
Boney M.
there's-
Boney M.
There's some other good content on YouTube at the moment. Some great content. There it is in the corner there. There's a little X.
No, stay here.
You can click on that and this will all vanish.
Rah rah Rasputin.
You do
Boney
realise.
M.
You do. Yes, all right. You do realise that Rasputin by Boney M is not a historical document.
Oh, I thought it was.
No.
Okay.
Some people think that The Crown. Have you watched The Crown, by the way, on TV? It's a drama.
People are talking about The Crown.
There are people who actually believe that they are watching a documentary. They believe that The Crown is actually all factual, like a documentary. But most of it is actually made up. It's actually been, well, in certain places it's been embellished or made to look more dramatic. But in other places they've just made it up. It isn't even real.
Ah, that's it. Rah rah Rasputin, Russia's greatest love machine. Thank you. Yes, thank you. I couldn't. Rah rah Rasputin, Russia's greatest love machine.
Yes. That's only because somebody told you that.
I know, but I can sing it now, you see.
It was a shame how he carried on.
It was a shame how he carried on. It's a good song, that was.
Okay.
I used to love Boney M. I used to love their songs. Mr. C, the tree behind you looks terrible. Looks like your hair because of the camera angle.
Oh, I see. It does. It looks like you're wearing some sort of... Looks
Says
like,
Haydar.
This looks like you're off to a street festival.
Yes, yes, I've got a lovely mane of hair.
Yes.
Yes, I'll just stay there like that. I've got green hair. A crown of thorns.
You're certainly a thorn in my side.
There's only, well, mind you, there's half an hour left, I'm guessing. I'm guessing we're not going exactly at 4 because you were late on.
No, we've got another half an hour, you see. I was 15 minutes late.
Talking of Boney M, that must have prompted somebody. Yusuf says, please explain the phrase, I make no bones about it.
What has that got to do with Boney M?
Well, I said Boney M, and somebody must have thought of the phrase, I make no bones about it. And make no bones about it.
Yes, I think it's to be honest,
Yes.
blunt, to give what you really think or to say what's really happening. Make no bones. You make no bones about something. You give it to me straight. Make no bones. I'm making no bones about this. I'm telling you exactly how it is.
You're not hiding, you're not trying to cover up the real, sugarcoat the actual meaning of what you're about to say. Yes, you could say, look, I've got to tell you something now, and I make no bones about it. It's very serious.
Yeah.
So it means you're going to tell somebody something quite serious. It
Okay.
means you're about to say something serious. Boney M performed in Palmyra City.
Okay. Not anymore, though, because the guy that used to do all the dancing, he's dead now, unfortunately.
Yes.
He died. But he didn't even sing on the songs. Did you know that? The guy that did all the dancing in Boney M, he didn't even provide the voice. It was somebody else.
He was a great dancer, though. Nobody could dance like that. That was amazing dancing. Pedro's going.
Yes, I'm
Says
going in a
Belarus,
minute.
yeah.
I'll be going soon if we don't play the sentence game.
Right, get on with it, Mr. Duncan.
We're playing the sentence game. I'm sorry about this, but this guy, it's like sitting with an elderly relative, and they keep reminiscing about everything. They won't stop.
Olga says, all I can see is the bush behind Mr. Steve now.
Oh, I see. Well, as long as you can't see the bush. Oh no, we won't do that. We won't say that. That's a bit rude, isn't it? Do you think that's rude?
Retest says, Tomek, are you ready for the new sentence game?
I'm ready. I've been ready for about the last 20 minutes.
Are we leaving a bit later today, Mr.
Well, we
Duncan?
will be a little bit later, or else we'll be 15 minutes short, you see. I like to provide value for money, but although it does cost you nothing. So I think that's pretty good value for money. If something is nothing... Here we go then. Let's see if Tomek can get this. Today's new and perhaps improved sentence game.
Connell's here today.
Hello, Connell. Nice to see you back. I haven't seen you here for a while. I might give you a little song. Hello, Connell. It's so nice, Connell. It's so good to see you back where you belong.
Here on the live stream.
Did you like that? Did you like my song then? Did I sing?
Sergio is itching for the new game.
Yes, here we go then.
That means you're really keen to see the new game.
It is new, but not sort of much different. You will be able to see, you will be able to appreciate just how much effort I've put into this. As I was scrabbling around at 5 minutes to 2 today, because we stayed up very late last night.
Oh, get on with it, Mr. Duncan.
We were watching a movie and I got distracted by it, so I didn't go to bed until very late. Here we go then. It's the new and improved sentence game. The sentence game, you have to guess the phrase from the initials.
Right.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you some initials, some letters, and they all come in a certain order. But those letters are actually the initials of the words from a well-known phrase. Wow.
So it's not really the sentence game, is it?
It's like the instructions from an IKEA piece of furniture.
It's the phrase game, really, isn't it?
It's really the phrase game, but I couldn't sort of design any new titles. I didn't have time.
Nosa's back as well. Hello, Nosa.
Nosa, nice to see you back.
Missed your live stream. Right, let's get on with it.
Here we go. So today's sentence game, slightly different. You have to guess the phrase from the initials. So I'm going to show you some initials. Get ready.
Oh,
you see now?
TCYCBTH.
So that is a well-known expression in English. So all of those letters are the first letters of each word in the phrase. Yeah, come on, Tomek. Come on, let's see.
Well,
get this.
Valentina said, Tomek, could you hold back a few seconds?
Yes.
We just assume Tomek always gets it. We always assume Tomek gets it. So you're always the winner. Anyway, no matter what. But yes, no, I didn't know you were changing the sentence game, so I've got to think, what is that phrase? Do we need a clue, Mr. Duncan?
A clue?
Rockstar. It's their first time on.
Welcome, rock star. Are you really a rock star? Maybe you are John Bon Jovi. Or maybe you are Ozzy Osbourne. Or perhaps Gordon Giltrap. You see? Yes. Actually, I don't think you are Gordon Giltrap, because I don't think he's around anymore. But yes, are you a real rock star? I'm interested to find out, to be honest. We might have a famous person now talking to us. We need someone famous here because it's not us.
Michael says, "Can you? Is that your stomach?
My stomach keeps making a noise
Is it
because
rumbling?"
I'm hungry.
Hello, says Michael Russin.
Okay.
Could you make a lesson with dark, heavy, and death metal lyrics?
Wow.
It would be very interesting. You could comment the content, and we could get to know many interesting idioms.
Yes. Death metal. I've heard of heavy metal, but I've never heard of death metal. It sounds rather violent. Do you swing your guitars around at each other?
Well, people are finding this difficult. Can we have a clue?
It is a good piece of advice. Oh, okay. What?
Somebody's got it.
Oh, okay. But in the same sentence
Yes.
as no one's got it. No one's got it. Oh, someone's got it.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Someone has got it. So this is a piece of advice. It is a good piece of advice to let people know that they should be careful how much they hope for something to happen in the future, you see. So maybe you are very positive about something that is going to happen in the future.
Well, two people got it at exactly the same time.
Yes, but I think
Moore and Partridge virtually put their answers down at exactly the same time.
but Partridge did get it slightly wrong.
But I know, but I think Partridge knew what they wanted to say.
I have to be very harsh, you see. You have to.
Is this an idiom? And Tomek says Mora with 4 exclamation marks.
Okay.
In other words, well done, Mora.
Mora, well done.
Tomek being very gracious there.
So there it is then. I suppose I should give the answer. So what are we doing this week? Are we having...
But then Sergio got it as well. See, I think a lot of people, they're probably writing it all at similar times. So, I mean, yes. I don't think people are copying. I think they just literally get it on their own.
Yes. Well, I am using a slightly faster speed today, so there is less of a delay today,
Okay.
Steve. So we might notice there is a slight difference there. Ooh, you see, very technical.
Palmyra says that in her country they say, we will count the chickens in autumn.
I see.
So it must be a similar, yes.
Shall we give the answer then?
Let's give the answer. I think we know.
But what are we doing? Are we having the cockerel, or are we having Mr. Steve having a poop?
Neither.
See, I personally, I like this, you see. See, see, I like that. So time is up. Here is...
Tomek was very gracious towards me.
Has your mother ever seen that?
No. My mother has never seen any of this.
I'm going to send your mother the video of you having a poop.
I think my sister's put her off.
Here we go then. Here's the answer. Bing bong. Don't count your chickens before they've hatched.
That is an idiom, is it not, Mr. Duncan?
It is. It's a well-known phrase. In fact, it's a way of telling someone that you shouldn't hope for things to go exactly the way you expect them to go. So maybe you should have your hopes not too high. Don't count your chickens before they have hatched. So maybe you have some eggs, and maybe you will assume that all of the eggs will hatch out.
Yes.
However, sometimes they don't. So don't expect things to always go your way. Don't expect things to go smoothly. Don't count your chickens before they've hatched.
Yes, so on first appearances you might say, oh, this is going to happen, because I can see, like with the chickens, you might see 12 eggs and you might assume you're going to get 12 chickens.
Yes.
But, of course, some of them might not hatch out. You might only end up with 5.
Yes.
You might break some of them.
That's it.
So in life, something may appear to be going your way,
Yes.
but it may not actually happen.
Yes. Or it doesn't always go the way you expect
Yes.
it to go. Okay.
So
then.
how could we use that in a sentence?
Well,
How would that appear?
It is a sentence.
No, but somebody might say, oh, life's wonderful, I'm going to get a new job.
Well, maybe-
I'm going to get a girlfriend or a boyfriend. I can see it's all going to work out. And somebody
Yes.
might say, oh, don't count your chickens before they've
Yes, well,
hatched.
maybe a person goes for a job interview and they assume that they've already got the job. So they start doing things, they make plans for after they have got the job, but they haven't even been offered the job yet. They just went to the interview.
Yes,
And
they
you-
might say, "Oh, I'm going to buy a new car with the money. I'm going to buy a house. I'm going to
Yes.
move out." And then somebody might say,
Hey,
to
wait
you,
there, wait a minute. Don't count your chickens before they've hatched.
Yes,
You have to wait and find out what happens next.
wait and see what actually happens, rather than projecting into the future
Anyway.
based on things which may or may not happen.
We only have 15 minutes left. Here's another one. So it's slightly different today, a little different. Today's sentence game. You have to guess the phrase from the initials. But we did get some correct answers, you see.
We did.
You can do it.
And it was Mora who got that right. But Partridge also virtually at the same time got it right as well.
And Sergio.
And Sergio. So
Here we
well
go.
done.
Here's the next one. Ooh.
MHWTSS.
Yes, this is a well-known phrase in English, and it is encouraging you to do something while you have the chance. When you have a chance to do something, you should do it. Take that opportunity.
You've given a clue very early on, Mr. Duncan.
Well, we don't have much time left, you see. That's the reason why I am rushing a little bit.
So there's a well-known phrase, or could it be an idiom?
Well, a phrase, it's not really an idiom, you see, it's a phrase.
Just
so
a
it's
phrase.
a colloquial phrase or maybe a phrase that we use. So it's a complete sentence. An idiom quite often is just one word or two words, but this is really more of a phrase or expression. So you are saying something that you have to do whilst you have the chance, when there is the opportunity.
Fly away, just going back to the last one where we say don't count your chickens before
Okay.
they're hatched. Fly away says we say don't sing victory too soon.
Yes, okay.
Well, the
Oh.
answer's out there.
Jimmy
Jimmy
from Hong
from
Kong.
Hong Kong.
Jimmy from Hong Kong, congratulations. A big special Mr. Duncan's sticky thumb. There it is. There is my little sticky thumb. Hello.
But Lewis got it as well. Well, very quickly afterwards. Vitas got it. Tomek got it. Partridge got it as well.
So here it is then. Here's the answer. The answer coming up now.
Sergio got it as well.
The answer coming up now. Oh, that will never ever get old.
Well done to Jimmy, who technically got it first,
Okay.
but very quickly Flyaway got it as well. Oh no. Lewis got it and Vitas got it and Tomek got it
Yes.
as well.
Yes, I think we.
Sergio got it as well.
Okay, here's the answer.
Yes.
Bing!
Make hay while the sun shines.
Make hay while the sun shines. Do something whilst you have a perfect opportunity.
Yes.
So sometimes in life this can happen. You might have an opportunity to do something, but you might think, oh, I can't be bothered, or I'm too tired, or I'll do it tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow the sun will shine as well. But then the next day there is no sunshine and it's raining. So you've lost your opportunity. Make hay while the sun shines. Do that thing whilst you have the opportunity. It is a good piece of life advice.
Yes, while things are favourable to you, do whatever it is that you need to do that those favourable situations make allowable for you to do it.
Yes.
Yes.
It is.
So yes, you could. I mean, it could literally be you want to do some gardening, and the weather is nice. It could be Mr. Duncan. I might say, oh, I'm thinking of going into the garden. I'm not quite sure because I can do it tomorrow. And you might say, well, it might be raining tomorrow. Make hay while the sun shines. But
Yes.
I'm trying to think of a better example.
That's almost literal.
That
though,
is
isn't it?
almost literal. I'm trying to think of a better example.
That
Mr.
is
Duncan.
basically the sentence.
You know what they say? Make hay while the sun shines.
Yes.
So
Okay, here's one.
Here's
one. Can I have one that actually makes sense? Maybe you are looking for the perfect partner in your life. Maybe you are looking for that someone that you've always wanted to meet. And tonight there is a meeting of some single people. You
Yes.
see? So there is an opportunity that comes along, Steve.
Yes, I'm listening.
It's an opportunity that comes along where you might meet the love of your life. You see? So you can make hay while the sun shines. You can find that opportunity there. You can go along to that club where all of those lonely single people are, and you might find the love of your life. Make some hay while the sun shines, while it's there. Maybe also as a young person, you see, if you are young, you could say make hay while the sun shines.
Yes.
While you still have your vigour and your energy and your youth. Make hay while the sun shines.
While you've got the opportunity to do something, and and everything's favourable for you to do it, then do it at that moment.
Yes, it's
that's
like-
what that phrase means.
Sergio says, like Mr. Duncan when he kicked that child off the swing. Yes, just like that. Because I saw the play area and I thought, there is a place where I want to play. And then I kicked the children off. I said, get out of here, you little brats. And then I was able to play on the swing for the rest of the day. You see, I made hay while the sun was shining.
Yeah, in Spanish they say the rain never goes back upwards.
That's it.
And Haydar says, what is hay? Yes, it's grass. Hay is grass that is cut and left to dry.
Yes.
And it's used for animal feed.
Yeah, that's it.
So they cut the grass, long grass. It's a bit different to straw. Straw is
Stubble.
from wheat, and that's not used for feed. So hay is literally just mown grass
Yes.
that is left to dry, and then you have to collect it up while it's dry. You have to leave it for a week or two to dry out in the sun, but obviously you've got to harvest it when it's dry, so
Yes.
when the sun is shining. And if you leave it, it'll be all wet and it'll go soggy and it won't
Yeah.
be very good for animal feed.
So you don't harvest wet grass. You have to harvest the grass to
Yes.
turn it into hay.
Typically, a horse eats hay. It's just browned, dried grass, and they feed it to particularly horses in the winter months when the grass isn't growing.
Okay, we've got another one, Steve. We've got to move on.
Okay.
I would love to talk all day about hay and grass, but sadly, there are other things that we have to get on with, and it is the next sentence game. Oh, guess the phrase from the initials. Here's another one. Oh,
Oh,
okay then. Here's another one.
did you just give the answer, Mr.
I
Duncan?
think did I just click the answer? Because I'm really stupid. Excuse me. Let's do this one then. Here's another one. Oh, that's a good one as well. I like that one.
LBYL.
That's it. And this is not a section of society, by the way. This is not the LBYL group.
Saturino says yes. Saturino says
it could be, but it isn't.
Saturino says we say pound the iron when it's hot. Yes, that's yes, because when it's red hot. If you want to form it into a shape, you've got to do it when it's hot. If you wait till it's cold, you've wasted your time.
You've got to pound it.
Pound the iron while it's hot. Mr. Duncan has got such a dirty mind. A dirty mind.
I didn't say anything. It's you. It's your mind that's dirty.
I didn't. Well, I said it and you laughed.
I know I laughed because I found something amusing that I said earlier. You see?
Jimmy is really, and Sergio. Jimmy and Sergio have got it already.
Yeah, Sergio. I noticed Tomek has gone very quiet.
Well, we know Tomek's got the answers.
Oh, are you sure?
Well, I'm not sure actually.
Ah, you see?
But
Yes.
show us, Tomek, that you really are the king of the sentence game.
Yes. Are you the king of the sentence game, or have you been defeated?
Tomek says Jimmy is the new Tomek.
Yes. Jimmy from Hong Kong is the new Tomek.
Oh, that's very gracious of you, Tomek. But we know you've got it really.
Okay, here's the answer then. I will give the answer right now, and then I think we've
Sergio says, I don't eat hay, I hit the hay.
Oh, I see.
If you hit the hay, it means you're going to bed.
Yes, you go to bed, you hit the hay.
Because you can, of course, sleep on hay. It's quite a nice thing to sleep on.
Yes.
I'm going to hit the hay.
I've never done it, by the way.
Hit the sack.
Where did you used to sleep? Have you ever slept in a barn with the animals? No, don't answer that. Don't answer that, please. Okay, here we go then. The answer coming up right now. Mr. Steve, please give us one of your super duper plops. Oh dear. Okay. We have quite a few answers here. Correct answers coming up. Yes, very good. Well done. The answer is bing.
Well done.
Look before you leap. Before you do anything, Steve, in life, especially if it's something that might be risky, you see, you should look before you leap. Look, make sure that the thing you are about to do is safe.
Yes, just as you wouldn't just if you went to the edge of a cliff, you wouldn't just leap off without looking. So somebody might say, you might just say, I'm going to apply for that job, and you go for an interview and somebody says, you got the job, and you don't know very much about it.
Okay.
And your friend might say, well, don't forget to look before you leap.
Yeah.
Make sure you've really found out all the facts about what you're doing.
Perhaps the job is dangerous, you see. Maybe the job that you are applying for is something dangerous like lion tamer. Maybe you have to put your head in the mouth of a lion. I know it's a very unusual job, but the hours are very good. You get the weekends off. Or maybe you have to test the stings on a bee. So maybe you have to go to a bee farm and you have to stand there naked and you have to allow all the bees to sting you. And just to make sure that their stings are working, you see. That's a very dangerous job.
Salah Deneen says, what does leap mean? Leap means to jump. It means to take a leap.
A leap.
It is a bit like jump.
Yes. So you leap. Quite often you will leap up in the air or leap off something. Maybe you leap off a cliff. You jump off.
But yes, look before you leap. You could say that about relationships.
Yeah, definitely.
You might say to somebody, your friend might say, well, I'm going on a blind date tonight. I don't know who they are. And we're going to meet up. And you might say, well, look before you leap. In other words, find out a bit more about them first.
Yes.
Or you might say, I'm going to get married. I'm getting married next week. Yeah. We've only known each other for a week. And your friend might say, well, that's a bit risky. If I were you, I'd look into that a bit more.
Although
look before you leap.
In that situation, you might literally be leaping, you see, if you get my meaning. Yes.
What is the difference between leap and jump?
The same thing.
I think they are the same thing.
They can be used. You can jump in the air or you can leap in the air.
If you leap over something, it just means you jump over something. I think they are very similar.
One more, and then we are going. Okay, we've only got 5 minutes, Steve, and then we have to go. We have to say goodbye for today.
I'm getting hungry, because you know what we're eating later, don't you?
Yes, Steve was very busy last night in the kitchen making some lovely scones, and we are going to have those after, aren't we?
Sergio's motto is leap before you look.
Oh, I see. Okay, then.
So just dive straight in.
So Sergio likes to keep his eyes closed.
Yes, well, that sometimes, yes, exactly. Just don't think about it too much.
Yeah.
Just dive straight in and experience it. You see, I do like that.
Yes.
Because that's total opposite of me, and I do like to be around people who are spontaneous.
Some people
and always living in the moment and reacting to the moment.
Some people might say that that's reckless, you see, as well. So that's why looking before you leap is good, because then you are being cautious. Anyway,
it's very exciting to leap before you look.
Okay, Steve. that that would appear to be from
A
experience.
lot of people don't know the word leap, so that's been quite useful.
Yes, okay then.
Just have a go. Sometimes you don't want to think about things too much. You just want to dive in.
That's it.
Have a go.
So if
leap before you look.
If that big dark van comes up next to you and says, "Here, do you want to take a ride in the back of my van?" Don't hesitate. Just jump in there.
Strange thing to say, Mr.
Is that what you're
Duncan.
saying?
No.
That's your advice. That was what you just said, Steve. So don't always do that. Don't always do that, you see. If someone offers you something, think about it first before you accept.
Tomek says that Jimmy won fair and square. There's a good phrase.
Fair and square.
Fair and square. Yeah, that isn't one of your phrases coming up, is it?
No?
Fine.
The chances of that happening are about 25 billion to 1.
Yes. Tomek being very gracious. I've said that 3 times.
Okay then. Shall we have one more, Steve?
One more, and then we're going to have a cup of tea and a tea cake
Yes.
and a scone.
And a scone. We've said that already. Can we have it? Because we've only got 1.5 minutes to do this. Here's the next sentence game. I'm not going to show the answer first.
Are you ready?
Right there.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, I thought that was a rude word.
I
then.
did.
I thought
Again, your filthy mind, Mr. Duncan.
ARSGNM. And yes, this is another one. This is another one that we've actually used a couple of times on the show in the
Yes,
past.
Vin G, I will put jam and butter, strawberry jam and butter on my scones.
So this is a good way of remembering that sometimes in life you have to keep doing new things. Explore life. Don't stand still.
Valentina says it's too long.
What is?
The phrase.
Oh, I see. It's not very often anyone says that to me.
Dirty mind.
What? There was nothing dirty there.
I'm going to slap you, Mr. Duncan.
I was
Put your hand out.
I was on about my feet.
Put your hand out. I'm going to slap you. There we go. For being
Okay.
a naughty, dirty boy.
Can you do my bottom next?
No. Nobody's got it yet. Nobody's got it yet. Any clues?
Any clues? I've just given you a clue.
What was that?
I just literally gave you the clue.
Come on, Tomek.
What-
Come on, Jimmy.
Where were you? Did you drift off once again into the past? Were you having a conversation in 1993?
Sergio got it before. Lewis got it before as well. Dudika says it's too long as well.
What is?
The phrase.
It's a sentence.
The sentence, yes.
But it's a well-known sentence, and it means
Well-known.
that those people who look for new experiences in their lives, you go through your life, you're always trying to find something new to do, new to experience, and this is a way of remembering that.
Prasanna is from Sri Lanka.
Ooh, very
Have we
nice.
ever had anybody from Sri Lanka
We
before?
have,
Yes, we have.
yes.
We have.
But hello, Prasan, watching right now in Sri Lanka. A big hello from
Fantastic.
a very dark England. So even though it's only 4:15, it's 4:15 in the afternoon. But now outside, look outside, Steve. It's completely.
It's
Look.
dark.
Look, there it is outside.
It's dark outside.
Look, there it is outside.
And it's only 4:15 p.m.
Yes, it's afternoon, and look, already it's dark.
Hello, Lolly Lolly. Ah.
What?
Oh, somebody's got it.
Hooray!
Partridge has got it.
And Saturino.
And Saturino, yes.
Partridge and Saturino.
Gija's got it as well. Gija Roy. Oh, well, Partridge has to get the prize
Yes, I think so.
for being a few seconds ahead of Saturino.
Is there a prize?
Yes, the prize is as I blow a kiss.
Oof.
That's the prize.
That is not a prize.
Well, maybe
These days, it's an assault.
maybe it would be all right for Partridge. Can you assault somebody through the internet in that way? I suppose you can.
You can go to prison for saying things on the internet, so be careful.
A rolling... yes.
What?
Yeah, the clue could have been, think of a rock group from the 60s.
Okay.
That could have been a clue.
What, the Beatles? Herman's Hermits.
No.
Name 3 groups from the 1960s.
The Beatles.
Oh, no, not the Beatles.
Well, that is a group from the 60s.
Yes, but I just said that.
Yes.
You're just repeating
Herman's
what
Hermits
I just said that as well.
and the Rolling Stones.
Yes, but they're just three things we just said. Don't repeat what I said. Okay, three groups from the 1960s, but not the ones.
Shirley Bassey.
That's not a group.
Oh, okay.
Shirley Bassey is not a pop group. Faster.
I'm not very good at this sort of thing.
The Drifters. You could have had the Drifters.
Okay.
The Four Tops. Diana Ross and the Supremes. Oh, for goodness sake! All from the 60s.
Yes.
You see. Yes, you see. They're all groups, musicians and groups from the 90s.
Shiloh, are you from Uzbekistan?
Jimmy
Because-
says the Trogs. Yes, the Trogs. Wild thing, you make my heart sing.
The
You
Animals, the Doors,
Yes,
the
the
Kinks,
Doors, yes.
the Who.
These are all the ones you could have said.
Tomek's very clever, you know. I think Tomek's probably the cleverest person we've
Tomek
got.
is very good at
Yes.
typing on the internet, on his
Yes.
search bar. I imagine Tomek's search bar on his computer is just worn out.
No, I'm not saying that. We're assuming that Tomek is very knowledgeable
Okay, then.
about things.
But very good at searching on the internet. The Searchers, you see? So there's another group from the 60s. What? Oh, yes. Guess the phrase. I think we've already got it. I think this has already been...
Sergio's using a very unusual name.
Okay.
Ambivalent.
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 Oh, yes.
If you are ambivalent about something,
Mm.
it means you don't really care.
Yes, and ambivalent. You have no strong opinion either way. You are just being ambivalent.
You have the
What do you
opposite
think of
meaning.
Brexit? I don't really care about Brexit, to be honest. I don't care if we go or if we stay, if we leave. I don't care about the fish. So you're ambivalent.
Yes. Either way, I'm fine.
Ambivalent.
Anyway, what's the answer, Mr. Duncan?
Please don't use your pen on my...
Well,
This is not a touch stylus, by the way. Steve keeps poking this onto my lovely iPad
if
screen.
your iPad can't withstand the tap from a pen,
Look, Steve,
then it's not a very good iPad.
Steve, this is not a stylus for an iPad screen. I might just stick it in your ear instead. So, yes,
You notice that the tops on pens are now have a hole in the end.
yes.
Yes, it's so that if children swallow them, they don't asphyxiate.
They don't asphyx.
They don't choke to death.
Yes, choke.
Asphyxiate is the word I was thinking
Yes,
of.
the word asphyxiate means you choke or suffocate. You can't get air into your lungs. Let's try it, Steve. Go on, swallow this. Swallow the top. Go on, eat it straight down.
A rolling stone gathers no moss.
So here we go. Yes, the answer is bing. A rolling stone gathers no moss.
And
It means as you go through life, it's always good to actually keep doing things.
yes, don't stand still.
Don't stand still. Don't become complacent in your
Yes.
life. Always try new things. Try new avenues.
Yes.
Get a skill.
Don't stand
No.
still, because if a rock doesn't move, it gets covered in moss.
That's
because
it.
moss grows all over it.
That's it.
Yes, so yes, don't be afraid to do something new in life. Otherwise, you might become stale and old.
Yes.
But a lot of people got that. But technically, Partridge was the first, so well done. But Saturino was quite quick afterwards. So was Gija
Yep.
as well, and Vitas.
I'm,
Live chat's going mad just as we're going.
I'm very eager to go, by the way.
Yes.
You may have noticed.
Right, Mr. Duncan, are we done for today?
Were you meditating then?
No, I was just looking at the live stream because at the live chat. I have to look at the live chat to see if there are any final comments before we roll off.
Yes.
and have our cup of tea and tea cake.
Go and put the kettle on, Steve.
I
The
will.
kettle. I want to see the boiling water. I want to see the scone in the microwave going round and round, heating up.
Gently warmed.
Can I please
scone.
have real butter? None of that sort of olive oil crap.
Well, the real butter is for cooking, Mr. Duncan.
Is it?
It's for making my scones. I've put real butter in them this week.
I see.
Lovely to be here. Lovely to see you all, to interact, to see all the lovely messages. Thank you to everybody, and thank you, Mr. Duncan. And I will see you in a few minutes in the kitchen.
Me, not
Yes,
you.
I know, I said you.
You can't come with us. I'm sorry about that.
Wish you could.
That's
Wish you could.
That's our private time, you see. This is our public time. But when we go into the kitchen and we have our scone and cup of tea, and then, of course, we will be watching, our Sunday Columbo. Columbo is my favourite TV show. Everywhere he goes, he's investigating crime. Who will be the famous murderer today? Will it be Jack Cassidy? Will it be William Shatner? Or maybe even...
Partridge says, I've read in my history book that the national anthem of Britain is God Save Your Noble King.
Oh,
Well, it's Queen at the moment.
yeah. It just
We have a
depends.
queen.
It just depends if it's a king or a queen. So at the moment we have a big queen. But enough about Mr. Steve. No, we have the Queen of England, but when of course the Queen decides to to abdicate, or well, you know the other alternative, Prince Charles will be the king. So it'll be God Save Our King. So when the Queen goes, gracious king,
Or noble.
noble. But of course, Prince Charles has a habit of talking to his flowers and his plants. So I don't know how that will go down.
Flyaway's having muffins. We're having scones. Yes, Flyaway, I would like the recipe.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
Columbo did have his wife. Columbo,
Pardon?
he talks about his wife quite often, but we never see his wife. However, did you know? Did you know that there was a TV show made with Columbo's wife also investigating crimes, Mrs. Columbo, and it failed miserably. No one watched it because it was terrible. So there was a TV show called Mrs. Columbo. It's true, I'm not joking.
Are you going to let me go, Mr. Duncan?
And it was played by Catherine Mulgrew from Star Trek.
Ciao, says Saturino, and I really am going this time.
Did you know that Murder, She Wrote was actually based on Mrs. Columbo?
No.
Ah, you see. Murder, She Wrote was written by the same people who wrote Columbo and created Columbo. But it's very similar, you see. But instead of Mrs. Columbo, it was Jessica Fletcher who was investigating all of the crimes.
Do you know what is the Queen's favourite cake? I don't.
Queen cake.
Could be. There is a cake called Queen Cake.
Yes, that's why I said it.
Right. I don't want to go. I keep seeing all these messages coming up, and I love reading the live chat.
What is Columbo's catchphrase? One more thing. One more thing. He always has one more question. So it looks as if he's walking away, but then he turns around and he says, one more thing. One more question.
Bye-bye, everyone. See you next week.
See you, Mr.
All
Steve.
being well, as they say.
Bye.
Bye.
Miss you. And that's it. We have come to the end of today's live stream. I thought it was never going to end. I thought this was going to be one of those live streams that just goes on forever and ever and ever and ever. But it isn't, because now we have come to the end. Thanks for your company today. It's been a slightly long one. I thought we would give you a little bit of extra time because I was late today. Thank you, Beatrice. Thank you, Valentina. I am with you live on Wednesday. I'm out and about in the town centre because we are officially out of full lockdown on Wednesday. So I will be with you out in the town centre. I will try my best not to get arrested again. Thank you, Lolly Lolly. Thank you, AJ. Thank you, Belarusia. See you on Wednesday. I will be in town on my own. Or, of course, next Sunday, I will be with... I can't talk anymore. I am so exhausted. I can't begin to tell you how tired I feel at the moment. See you next Sunday from 2 p.m. Or I will be with you on Wednesday from around 2 p.m. as well. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English saying thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. It's been lots of fun. I am absolutely tired out. I really do need to have a lie down, which is what I'm going to do a little bit later on. And of course, until we both meet here again, until we are all here together, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Ta-ta for now.
I'm a big boy now.